kids, it's the Mr. Flyer here. Now, I'm out and about on another bike review, and very lucky in that those nice guys at Bahnstormer Maidenhead have let me borrow their RnineT Scrambler while my GS is in for a service. So been looking for, I haven't ridden any RnineTs before, and the Scrambler is the one that up at the NEC I particularly like the look of, so I've been really looking forward to having a go on this beast. So stick around, stay tuned, and this is my first impressions type review of the BMW RnineT Scrambler. So my very first impressions of the bike, having just jumped on, are that it's full of, in quotes, character. This bike has the fully air-cooled Boxer twin, unlike the GS that I'm very used to, that has the liquid-cooled, slightly more refined engine. So that's all a very polite way of saying that this thing actually is quite lumpy in comparison. When you switch it on, the thing rocks and rolls. Vibration is quite marked through the seat and handlebars, you know, at low and idle speeds. Once she's moving, absolutely fine. The seating position is quite odd, or different to what I thought it was going to be. You feel quite high up, you're sitting very much on top of the bike, and your legs are tucked up quite high underneath you. It's difficult to describe. It's a bit like a sports bike, but you're on the bike rather than in it, and obviously you're not canted forward like a sports bike, so it is very comfortable. It's just that your legs are tucked up underneath you a bit more than I expected. It's got these big stalky mirrors that actually work very well, although I'm not too keen on the design of them. I think I'll have to go for some aftermarket ones. And this particular machine is fitted with the knobbly tyres that I think you might be able to specify these or some more road-oriented tyres. And the knobblies look absolutely brilliant. The bike looks stunning. That is the thing with it. It's it may be characterful, and it's up to you whether you think that's a good or bad thing. But there's no doubt in the thing absolutely looks lovely. You can hear a bit of a whine off those knobbly tyres actually. I doubt that the microphone's picking it up, but there is quite a bit of road noise off them. Not hugely unpleasant, but it might become annoying after a while if you're going to do a longer ride. But these sort of bikes typically would be bought for a summer afternoon blast, so it probably wouldn't be a problem. And I think in my case, because I'm a very simple individual and like things looking good, I think I'd probably go for the knobbly tyres anyway, just because they look so jolly good. Very light clutch action. It's got the BMW hydraulic clutch, which I'm a huge fan of. Handlebars feel quite wide, but you do feel like you have to muscle it around a little bit on the corners. I'm just not quite used to the handling yet. It feels a bit odd to me. I can't quite decide whether you have to muscle it around or whether it drops in. It's very odd. Now I'm having to give it quite a bit of counter steer to get the thing moving to start with, and then once she starts to turn, it feels a little bit like it's dropping in. Might be to do with these tyres, just might be the way the bike is. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not being hugely negative. I love the way this bike is. Now I have ridden the Triumph Scrambler, the old version, not the street twin base version, and I've ridden the Ducati Scrambler. I didn't like the Ducati Scrambler for various reasons, mainly because it felt a bit too toy-like for me. What's going on here? Got some police presence over there. But I love the Triumph Scrambler, so it's going to be interesting to see at the end of this review what my thoughts are. It looks like some sort of accident on here. Okay, let's go this way, see how she feels on the dual carriageway. Lovely day for riding. So this particular Boxer engine is slightly less power than the liquid cooled version. I think this comes in at something like 120 brake horsepower. I'll check that. But I can't say as I noticed the difference. It doesn't feel like it's underpowered in any way. As you'd expect on a naked bike, quite a lot of wind to deal with when you're going along at speed. Cruising along here at on this dual carriageway at 70, and it's consistent. There's no buffet, so it's absolutely manageable. I'm used to riding naked bikes, and I have absolutely no problem with that. There's no turbulent air coming off. There is no issue at all with the wind buffet on this bike. Completely smooth and nice. You wouldn't want to be doing much faster than legal motorway speeds though, because then you would feel like the tendency that you're going to fall off the back of the bike. But yeah, 70, no problem at all. Okay, so she's absolutely fine on these faster roads. Let's get back to some smaller roads and maybe try on a bit of traffic. See how she handles that. Blimey, as I come off the dual carriageway and onto this slip road, the noise coming off those tyres is quite noticeable. Let's see what she's like with a bit of... oh no, I was going to do some minimal filtering, but I think my opportunity is gone. A bit of a hash of that, really. Not used to the bike enough to do anything too advanced. Not that filtering's advanced, but you know what I mean. Feels a little bit, felt a little bit odd there at slow speed. I'll do some more slow speed riding in a minute just to check that out. Pretty impressed actually with this engine. It is characterful, so you do get the vibes at these low speeds, but it's got plenty of go. I thought it might be a bit sluggish, but no, there's no lack of power. From a comfort perspective, it's got this very narrow seat on it, but actually feels pretty comfortable to me. I'm getting a bit more used to this seating position now, and it feels a bit more natural with the legs tucked up high. But as far as the padding is concerned on my bum, all that looks very thin. Actually, yeah, feels good. I think I could ride this for some period. Heated grips work really nicely. I love this minimal speedo as well. Really neat and tidy. And actually, probably one of the easier BMW speedos I've ever had to read. It's a plus point there. What I need to do, as is traditional in these sort of reviews, is find myself somewhere to stop, show you around this absolutely gorgeous looking bike. She sounds great. I think this has got the standard pipes on. I'll check that when I get off, but don't think you'd have any need to change them, because they just make a nice popping noise as you go along, and they do look awesome. Actually, the bike is quite nice and narrow and pretty good in traffic, easy to nip through those gaps, so as a commuter possible, I think. Now I'm in town and doing some slightly slower riding, I must admit those vibes now through the grips are starting to get a bit more noticeable, and my right hand's gone slightly pins and needly. That would annoy me. I'm just funny about vibes on bikes. It's something that I just really don't like, and this is a vibey old beast. Character they call it. I do love Marlow. It's a great little place. The trouble is everybody else loves it too. It's always so flipping busy. Right, let's head up this way. But it is a good test of the RnineT Scrambler in traffic. So this car come out. Beautiful day for a bit of scrambling. I have to say, not too sure how many people would scramble one of these bikes, of course, because they are so gorgeous looking. And although it's got a bigger front wheel than the RnineT, this has got the 19-inch machine, which is a bit of a nod, I suppose, to its pretend off-road abilities. So I suppose you could take it off-road with the knobbly tyres and that, and it'd be fine, but who'd want to damage such a spangly looking machine? Right, let's go find somewhere to stop. Not brilliant, but it'll do. Marlow, as I said, is a super busy place, so this will have to do for a little walk around. I'm sure you've seen these bikes before, but let's just show you what this particular one looks like. So here we have it then, the RnineT Scrambler, and there's no denying it's an absolutely beautiful looking bike, and actually I can now confirm, look at these aren't the standard pipes, they're the Akrapovic or Akropovich, whatever way you want to pronounce it. Let's not get into that, the aftermarket ones, but they do sound lovely and they look fantastic. Beautiful quality machine. Love the tank, it's got this sort of brushed aluminium look. As I mentioned, the front wheel's 19-inch on this, which is different to the standard RnineT. Just a bit of a nod to its I guess off-road pretensions, and you can see those knobbly tyres that make so much noise there. I've not ridden, as I say, one of these water-cooled, or sorry, air-cooled boxes before. I'm very used to the liquid-cooled ones, and this is a lot more lumpy than the liquid-cooled, there's no doubt. A bit too vibey for my taste, to be honest. This is the 1170cc unit. These are 111 bhp, and torque-wise, you're looking at 116 newton meters of torque. So a little bit down on the water cool, but you wouldn't notice it riding, as I say. Lovely looking machine though. I love this this air intake here. gorgeous. I think they've got the styling just right on this. I personally prefer the looks of this to the Ducati Scrambler. It feels properly old school all round. There's no, although it is a modern bike of course, there's not that odd mix of modern and retro that I felt rather sport the Ducati Scrambler. It's got a 17 litre fuel tank, so I don't know what the range is going to be at that. It's not going to be huge, but 17 litres is not bad either, so I imagine you'll be looking at 150 miles or so to a tank. And the thing weighs 220 kilograms when she's full up, so not particularly lightweight, it has to be said, but again, with the Boxer carrying its weight so low, it doesn't feel heavy when you're riding it. And of course, it's the famous BMW shaft drive as well, so no chain maintenance to worry about, which has got to be a good thing. It's got this really neat looking little seat on here, the brown one. As I said, it's quite thin, but it's actually quite comfortable. It's got a seat height of 820mm, so easy for a short fella. I'm 5'8", like me, to get my feet flat on the floor either side, so that's no problem. And if you want to buy yourself one of these lovely looking beasts, then you're going to have to find yourself 10,450 of your hard-earned pounds to buy one. So not cheap by any means, but the quality is amazing. Just the finish, fit and finish on it is lovely. You know, it's second to none really. They've done a great job on the build of this. Okay, enough chat. Let's ride her some more. Let's see what she's like manoeuvring her around. No problem at all. No, easy peasy to move around off the stand, etc. Shake, rattle and roll. Right. So, just not get distracted. So the controls on the RnineT Scrambler are all very straightforward. Very simple on the handlebars. All the usual stuff. Plus a button for heated grips just here on the right, which are very effective. So I was really impressed by the R9Ts when I saw them. Wait, thank you. When I saw them at the NEC show up in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago, and together with the Norton V4s, which are incredible, were kind of my bikes of the show. But I have to say, having now ridden this, and this being the Scrambler may not be typical of all R9Ts, a little bit underwhelmed. No problem with the comfort and the power, but it's not, for some reason, it's lovely up here, it's not for some reason the easiest bike I've ever ridden. I think because you feel like you're perched on top of it. Those tyres make the handling a bit odd, and they do have a lot of road noise. So I think just changing the tyres might make all the difference, but then you spoil the lovely looks of it. It certainly scores on the looks front. It's a lovely bike to look at, and the build quality is amazing. And I love the simplicity of it. It all works in that respect. It might just be a matter of sticking some more road-oriented tyres on, and all would be well. But no lack of power. I can hear those tyres whining away now. There's no lack of power. She's not too heavy. She's built really nice. It is a nice bike, and out of all the Scramblers I've ridden, which have only been 3, which is the old air-cooled Triumph Bonneville Scrambler, the Ducati Scrambler, and this, I think this would come second in my list. I didn't like the Ducati Scrambler at all, for reasons you can watch that review on. I think the old Triumph Bonneville Scrambler was better than this in terms of its ride. It was more, I don't know, it was just a bit more authentic to me. It sounded a bit nicer. And there's just something about the handling on this I don't like. It might be the front wheel, it might just be the tyres, but yeah, as I say, a little bit disappointed in that, because I really thought I was going to love the R9T. Perhaps I should ride a standard one at some point with some road tyres and the smaller front wheel, and maybe I'll change my opinions. But there we go. You can't like every bike you ride, I guess, but it's disappointing when you thought you're going to really like one. Anyway, there we go then. That's my first impressions type review of the R9T Scrambler. I hope it was of some interest to you, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Mist and Fly. Cheerio. It's got that torque effect on the Boxer that I've never, at standstill, I've never experienced before on the water-cooled one. Just rev the bike gently at the lights there, and she just rocks from side to side with the torque and gyroscopic effects of the engine. Wild.